Greetings everyone, please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Okay, everything's starting to boot on up. Need to turn live chat windows, and of course my macros. Okay, that's all online. Macros turned on. There we go, and I think everything is good to go. So, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Small on top side as the Orange Star Von Bolt. We got Blue Lightning 22. Blue Von Bolt. Let's go with that. Who's not in blue. Small on south side as a Blue Moon Hawk or Clozo. I think. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Either way, let's get started. This is a 3 base map, 1 airport. Pipe runners are theoretically possible with the base location there and some pipe seams there. Pipe runner help protect the HQ. But we have to be required to stay on top of the base in order to be immune to any sort of battlecopter attack. And there's also a little bit of river here, so it provides some resistance towards tanks and recons. You have the first tank down the field by Von Bolt. Tank now for Hawk on the same side of the Von Bolts. There's also a seaport in the corner, so I suppose you can pull out a battleship to help protect the comm tower. Probably won't be even seeing that. And the airport is on the strong side as well. Usually airport's more on the weak side, but battlecopters can still be sent over here for defense. Another tank for Hawk. Von Bolt has 12,000 monies in the bank. Goes for his own second tank. It's sort of weird seeing just 2 units, because usually a lot of maps have a couple dozen black boats or 1 of cruiser. You now have a battlecopter in the field for a Hawk. Another battlecopter, this time for Von Bolt, and artillery piece. Another infantry unit. This turn, Hawk does have 19,000, goes for battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Tank does strike tank, tank does strike tank. Get a nice little double tap there. Infantry unit does soften up a little bit more. We do have a full health tank here, which can get a first strike on either of those tanks. 2 health tank does fall back. Takes a strike there on the 8 health tank that's on the road. Does stop the capture entirely. Another battlecopter, pair of infantry, 5,000 monies. Goes for a recon to help reconnoiter the area. Tank here a little bit far away, but some health tank may just need to attack this tank here. Battlecopter strikes the infantry unit there. Tank heading up north. 7 health tank falls back. 2 health tank falls back. Both fall back to cease. Does strike infantry unit there twice, leaving it down to 1 health. Interior, tank, and infantry. Battlecopter's right here, so the interior on this side of the map's probably not a great call. Could have probably deployed on this side. Maybe just wants the anti-infantry over here as well. Battlecopter gets in range of the battlecopter. You can always put a infantry unit in between the two. But this battlecopter can always swing around and take a strike. This battlecopter's range to help retaliate, and there needs to be anti-air up here. Artillery providing this coverage. Takes 2 infantry there. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Sort of surprised it's not an anti-air since there's potentially 3 battlecopters in this region. Artillery trying to protect the comm tower and city. Infantry unit is in range to stop the capture. Battlecopter does take out the battlecopter. Doesn't have the extra defense. Does have the extra offense. Tank, infantry, and infantry with another battlecopter. Infantry strikes battlecopter, infantry unit strikes battlecopter, infantry unit strikes battlecopter, and try to capture the city. Battlecopter shows strike battlecopter, and this time the defense is actually a bit more successful in defending. Infantry unit does interrupt the capture of the column tower. And there's enough infantry here, so these tanks can't push forward, hit the artillery piece. And we do have 2 full health tanks and a 6 health tank, which can easily be up to 8 health next turn. Those strike some infantry units there, interrupts the capture. Recon will scout out the inside the barrels of the tank soon. Another tank. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter, striking it. We now have a black wave available for Hawk. Anti-air strikes battlecopter. Finish off the infantry unit there. Tank does find the recon. Hits the infantry unit there twice with the 5 health infantry unit there. Takes out the 5 health infantry once again. Another battlecopter. Infantry, and tank. Capture up city, trying to flip the seaport. I wonder, how far can that battleship reach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it was either a Jake battleship or a Grit battleship, we'll be able to range that base. Hawk's very close to a Black Storm. Volbolt is very close to a Ex Machina as well. Another battlecopter gets shot down. Recon gets shot up. Tank hits tank. Right now, Hawk's at 20,000. Volbolt's at 22,000. Black Storm is available, and there's actually a decent amount of health recovery there. Right now, it's at 80,000. Does go up to 85. This infantry unit is at 10 health. Look closely at the little bar on the box on the right. Does get some hits there. Insert 102 versus 72. However, Volbolt's Ex Machina is very likely very soon will likely strike right here, striking 3 tanks. 2 battlecopters, 2 infantry. This is 2 battlecopters is 18, 2 infantry is 20. This would be a little less than 21 as opposed to this one here. My apologies. I live in an apartment. I do hear an leaf blower going outside. But I'm not sure about that. I don't think I've really seen that message before. Server rebooting as a pop-up. Yeah, my apologies about the background noise. I don't think much I can do about that. In order to hit these battlecopters, we need to soften up one of these tanks. Ex Machina is now available, or maybe he just wants to lock down those 3 tanks. Let's find out. Anti-air, infantry. Decides not to pop his superpower next that turn. Of course, he's unable to pop his power. Does not finish off the 1 health battlecopter, so it's probably close to 1%. If this battlecopter goes in the center, it will definitely strike that region. Tank, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Ex Machina will likely strike right there. Yeah, it's going to strike right here. No, I was mistaken. Let's see, his 2 tanks and a battlecopter and a lot of infantry. Yep. So yep, I was mistaken. Also hits his own infantry unit there. It's down to 1% health. We'll be able to finish off a good number of those units there. Tank does strike tank. Does sack that 1% battlecopter. Mech, infantry, battlecopter, and tank. Does take out the 1% infantry. Anti-tier. Hits that infantry unit twice. Tanks to fall back. Another tank. Battlecopters rotating on its right side. So 3 full health tanks, 2 full health battlecopters up in this area. No proper counter to the battlecopters. 1 battlecopter versus 2. Not great. Strikes an infantry unit there. Strikes a battlecopter there. Hits and takes out another infantry unit. That infantry can have not just thrice but quartice. Tank does hit the tank. Does take out the tank there. Tank does go down. Mech ain't here. And another tank. Tank does find the 8 here. Battlecopter hits it. Battlecopter. No, afternoon exhaustion starting to set in. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank, tank hits, or infantry hits tank, and does not do any damage. Tank, it does strike tank there, and launches a black wave. Goes from 102.94 to 82.109. Guess may want a little bit of global damage and a little bit of health recovery. Of course, it does give him +10, +10. Nine captured targets remaining on this seaport. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, but takes the extra defense and of course less health. Takes a little less damage. Tank gets hit thrice. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Does not take out these tanks. These tanks are both severely wounded. 5 health battlecopter takes out the 3 health battlecopter. Does hit the tank there. How many 1 health tanks does he need? Another tank. Does strike that tank there. 1 health tank does hit the 2 health tank. 1 health tank does hit the 1 health tank. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Anti-tier is out of range of the battlecopter. Sacks another 1 health battlecopter. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter, another infantry. Takes on the 1 health tank. Artillery gets struck, hits the infantry unit there, who has fully captured the seaport. So maybe a battleship could be spawned down, provide immense pressure in that region. Tank, tank, and infantry. Bombo next turn will have not enough for a battleship. Battlecopter hits battlecopter from the seaport. Hits that infantry unit twice. Now thrice. Now quartice. Battlecopter, double infantry, and tank. 2 health battlecopter takes out 1 health battlecopter. Hits 9 health infantry, hits 4 health infantry, hits 9 health infantry, hits 8 health battlecopter. Ex Machina is now available. Extremely likely it strikes this these set of tanks or anti-air. Can't strike all 4 of those units. 8 health battlecopter, 5 health battlecopter, Neo tank. It will very likely strike this through 6 health infantry directly. Battlecopters, don't think so, not enough infantry nearby. So yeah, it's likely we'll strike this 6 health infantry directly. Hits infantry. Tank hits tank. Without the +10, +10, so he's not eyeing for a superpower. Because he's missing out +10, +10 by popping it late. Tank does hit tank. Tank, tank, and infantry. Black Wave is available. Black Wave just gets deployed on the field. Goes from 98,000 funds versus 112. to 100 versus 103. Does the tank twice. Hits the anti-air twice. Hits tank once. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Hits tank. Hits the infantry in there. So now the Neo tank's not on top of the city, which will also reduce the repairs, but he also pops his power resistance, so it can't get any ship repairs. Instead of 119 versus 86. Ex Machina of... Actually... Ex Machina will likely strike right here. That's where my guess is at the moment. Is that a good or bad thing? That might be better than hitting the Neo tank, honestly. Because there's a lot of units that are providing pressure right now, and now you can get some free shots onto them. Okay, so the battlecopter hits the infantry unit there. Or at least effectively acts as a double turn in that region. Tank hits tank. Another Neo tank, this time for Von Bolt. And a pair of infantry. Six health tank hits 5 health tank. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, but thanks to extra defense, able to resist a bit more. Right now, I just remember as well, Von Bolt does have both comm towers, which is very nice. Does hit that tank twice, and now thrice, now quartize, now quintize, now hextize, and now septize. I think I counted that right. Maybe I'm mistaken. Still, that was a lot of things to hit that one unit. ATR down to 1 health. Infantry units get struck here, interrupting the captures. Neo tank's in range, Neo tank, but however, if you take a shot against that Neo tank, the medium tank can get a good strike there. And Neo tanks and medium tanks have roughly the same defense. If he takes a strike from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the medium tank will still able to strike it, but the Neo tank has to move first. Hits the mech twice. Anti-air goes down. Neo tank takes a shot from the comm tower. If he does get struck first, he always pop another black wave, a bit of health recovery. Anti-air hits infantry. Neo tank hits Neo tank. 1 health battlecopter does finish off 1 health anti-air. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and tank. Medium tank hits a battlecopter, getting a bit of damage there. He has enough for black wave. Pops black wave. Neo tank does not strike Neo tank. Dogpiling around the comm tower. And there's Neo tank. Medium tank's now ranged Neo tank. Of course, it's on top of a comm tower. Infantry, battlecopter, and tank. Hits the mech. Hits the infantry a couple times. Whoops. I actually scrolled down a little bit. I was trying to reach over, open up a drink I have nearby. Neo tank hits the anti-air, which means now going to receive a first strike from the medium tank. Neo tank is also, I think, in range as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not from the forest, but from the plains. What am I? Why is it going down? Because I think I'm hitting spacebar to pause the game, but it's not that game. It's not RimWorld. Medium tank does strike Neo tank. Neo tank strikes regular tank. Another Neo-Tank infantry joins. And goes another infantry tanks that join. Is there a regular tank there? Does not soften up the Neo-Tank or regular or medium tank. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Battlecopter does it. Battlecopter. Sacks a 3 health anti-air to strike the battlecopter. Gets half its health and still only took 1 point of damage there. It's not really a sack, honestly. Tank, infantry, battlecopter, and infantry. Feels like Von Bolt is in a very good position in this game. Battlecopter, double infantry, and anti-air. Does that infantry unit there, does finish it off. Probably thanks to fire support of 2 comm towers. Neo-Tank's down to 1 health, but Chaos would be repaired with 3 health, maybe 4 health, starting with a black wave. Anti-air, mech, or artillery infantry. And Hawk does resign there. This and grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Open up a energy drink. I'm a little bit drowsy at the moment. There we go. Let's do this one here. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn north side as a Black Hole Andy, must be the clone Andy or robot Andy. We got Ship B. Spawn on the south side as the Orange Star Lash. We got Poland with a capital 1. So let's get started. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. Of course, got a neutral base and airport on the strong side. And capture victories 26 cities, so it's not super high income. There's also seaport here to help resupply the lander. There are now forests in the base part of the map. The lander, however, can push drop off units all the way over here. Or right there. We also got blue sea tile there, so infantry or ground vehicles cannot traverse there. Mechs infantry can traverse the mountains, but it'll be slow going. Inside the map, there's quite a bit of plains. Good number of captures there. Does interrupt the capture. Hits the infantry unit there, hits the capturing squad. Artillery ranges the city, so the city's not going to be captured. Mech, tank, and infantry. Right now, Andy does have 2 tanks and 1 artillery. Flash does have 3 tanks. All Flash tanks are on the left side of the map. Nothing stopped this tank here. Mech is going to be slow going. The plain mountains for the boosted strikes. There's an infantry unit from the mech trying to take on this tank. Anti-air double infantry. I wonder, it does hit that mech there. Anti-air is in range lander, so it can be picked up there. But now there is a tank in the shore beach. sandbar, low river. So this lander cannot drop off units as long as that tank is there. This comm tower has not been captured by Andy just yet. Lash has captured her comm tower. And traps the tank, more or less. Not really. Now it has. He has. 4 health mech cannot be destroyed by a 4 health infantry unit there. But trapping that tank there is a little bit of an iffy situation. Anti, of course, can get a good shot there. Did not take a good shot. Tank does strike tank. Battlecopter, triple infantry. Does strike that tank a couple times. And that tank was in range of that tank. One health tank can fall back, and this is Andy, so pulling back the tank just into the corner of the map's not a bad idea, because you, of course, your hyper repair and upgrades, get some good health regen. Does strike the anti-air, hits the infantry unit there. This 5 health anti-air can finish off that tank, but it's going to be picked off either way. Tank, and recon. Does finish off that tank. Another anti-air is going to be required to help deal with that battlecopter. Forward deploys that tank there. Andy now has a hyper repair available. Anti-air Devil infantry, keeping 8,000 funds in the bank. Battlecopter hits tank. Try and go over the comm tower. Takes out the anti-air, of course. Comm tower can be interrupted. 6 health tank can be finished off by, or the 6 infantry can be finished by the full health tank. No, wait, the lander will have to be deleted at that point, because the lander can't escape on out of there. Ooh. Will Lash have to delete her lander? Does capture his opponent's comm tower. So right now, Andy or Lash does have both comm towers at the moment, so maybe she forgo it. Does delete the lander, hits this infantry unit there, interrupts the capture, takes out the 9 health infantry. Battleship. That battleship's probably a little bit of a desperate move, honestly. It definitely locked down the comm tower. But that's expensive static emplacement with no real range. Try and go for the comm tower again. Hits that tank there, hits that tank as well. Comm tower can be stopped or interrupted. It has right now 10 capture progress remaining. The battleship can interrupt it, but there is nothing to stop the tanks. Feels like Andy's in a very good position right now. Oh, it's of course a Lash battleship, so it can effectively one-shot it. How much damage does it do? That it had to be abysmal luck not to get the one-shot, which would stall out enough at least for a next, one of those shots to eventually get a not abysmal luck. Medium tank double infantry. Clearly a pipe burner is needed here. Tank, infantry, T-copter, and infantry. Anti-air infantry, and battlecopter. Looks like Andy's starting to shift his focus to the left flank. That city's still actually despicably neutral. Andy also has 16,000 funds versus 21 now. So Lash has a pretty good economic advantage. Anti-air infantry, battlecopter, and mech. Oh! Sacks the battlecopter to get enough power charge. Wait. It says already at full charge. Maybe didn't think it would. Wait. Yeah, I think the replays are bugged up with me doing stuff. So those the battlecopter does get shot up. Didn't get repaired or didn't survive, so the battlecopter did just get outright one-shotted. And of course it's plus movement range and of course plus some firepower as well in all units. Lash now has prime tactics. We do have now a bomber on the field with triple infantry. We do now have prime tactics now summoned. Of course, getting perfect movement, very useful wheeled and tracked vehicles for both these forests. Stacks 2 off infantry in there. Double defense star strike, boost strike there, does take out the tank. Then another good strike there. Hits the mech with no defense stars and the recon with no defense stars. Hit the mech with 1 defense star. Double defense stars. Does go and wait the battleship, you monster. Fighter, infantry, and infantry. And it's 144 versus 124. Captures 2 capture 4 cities. Gave now long aimed to pull ahead in income. Infantry, and anti-air. Does take out the unit capturing out the column tower, so Lash does 2 column towers. Tank, and infantry. Interrupts the capture on the right side. Is that empty unit twice? Battlecopter hits those tanks. Does get some good hits there, does take out those tanks. Lash has a good number of wounded tanks over here, or A&D. Perfect for a hyper repair. Fighter, triple infantry. Fighter ready to dogfight with the other fighter. Takes the 4 health infantry there. Fighter does nuke the T-copter while doing about 150% damage. A lot of good hits there on taking out the battlecopters. 80 now is hyper upgrade available, and there's a good number of 7 of tanks. Does pop his hyper upgrade immediately, going from 109 to 117. Lash right now is 140. Does take out the medium tick there. Howdy. Yep, seems like it's going pretty well for both sides, honestly. Lash feels like she's a little bit behind, but not really. Lander's actually getting low on fuel. Anti-air, and infantry. Fighter can push forward, try the bomber, but we'll need to clear out 2 of those units. Only looks like 1 infantry unit is nearby to help clear it out, so looks like the bomber's going to be safe for the time frame. Or no, maybe the battlecopters here could do something. Battlecopter hits tank. Of course, the extra 10% defense is always very nice. Prime tactics. Double defense stars. Gets a good shot there. Anti-air finish off the unit there. Battlecopter does finish off the tank, and now the fighter takes on the bomber and takes it out with no extra defense stars. Anti-air, and recon. Tank takes up 2 health. Anti-air. Lander down 20 fuel. Fighter does get a bit of dogfight. And he's, of course, can easily be repaired. Lashes, not so much. She has a pair of anti-airs over here. She could just sack the fighter, hit the fighter, or find something else. Might be best to use the fighter against the fighter. Tank does hit tank. Tank does hit tank. Wounding the fighter could allow the fighter not one-shot the battlecopters. Even then, they'd basically be dead either way. Mech, tank, and tank. Fighter's out of range of the anti-airs. Double tank mech. Takes out that 3 health infantry unit there. Recon heading down south. Anti-airs push up north. Tanks rotating around. HQ's smack dab in the middle of the map, but it looks like neither player's going to be going for their opponent's HQ anytime soon. Tank, and mech. Let's take out the 4 health infantry along the right flank. Tank, infantry, and mech. Mech does get a boost strike on the tank. Very nice. Tank, and mech. New tank, double infantry. Tanks pushing the way forward. New tank, infantry. Waiting all the units, you monster. Remember as well, Lash does have quite a bit of funds locked into the battleship, so it's not providing the value difference between the two is nothing too significant. Sure, the battleship is locked on the comm tower, but he could have done that maybe with a rocket in the back line. Another Neo tank. I think that's right, Red May I-4 bomber. Right now she does a 20,000 funds a bank, so she cannot afford a bomber. Joins the mechs together, she can now afford a bomber and 1 infantry unit. Another Neo-Tank infantry and commits a base skip. Now Andy this turn may go for a bomber. Nope, he has 19,000 monies. Battlecopter, double infantry, and a mech. So the mech north hits the artillery piece, making some threats to up north. Infantry unit can start heading towards that column tower. Tanks rotating around anti-air as well. Got quite a bit of force here by Lash. Even terrain tactics is probably seeming reasonable with the force in the region. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Does strike the tank there twice. His battlecopter twice. Mech does hit the tank. Lander is right now down to troll fuel, which may not be enough fuel to get back to seaport. Infantry, and Neo tank. We actually do have the terrain tactics on the field, giving perfect movement on the mountains, on the forest, and these recons can now blitz the way forward at full movement. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Tank hits anti-air, tank hits anti-air. Anti-air strikes fighter, taking out one shot. Does not strike the Neo tank. Hits the infantry unit there. Neo tank hits regular tank there. Hits the anti-air there. Hits the regular tank there. Hits the regular tank there. Hits the regular tank there. Neo tank infantry. Infantry unit able to sprint across the mountains. I feel bad for their legs. Hope they didn't skip leg day. But even then, I don't think leg day will help you run up mountains. Neo tank hits really good Neo tank. And there's a hyper upgrade to get that health recovered. Same for the artillery piece here. Does take out the tank there. Neo tank hits regular Neo tank hits Neo tank. Infantry, tank, and tank. Neo tank may get a shot on Neo tank, perhaps the one on no defense stars. Takes out that unit there, hits the infantry unit there, does capture comm towers, so both comm towers are once again secured by Lash. Neo tank strikes Neo tank, regular tank strikes Neo tank, regular tank strikes Neo tank, leaving it down to close to 1% health. Tank, infantry, and artillery. Once again, Lash has her terrain tactics. Neo tank does get struck to fall back to a city, get some repairs. Neo tank, Lander does, no, that was the 4 health fighter, does actually fall to the sky and sink to the bottom of the shore. 4 health Neo tank hits now 2 health, takes out the 3 health Neo tank. 2 Neo tanks could merge and get some, not only back of the full health, but some bit of health recovery there. Let's finish off that Neo tank as well. It's quite important versus Andy, who of course can just pop repair powers. Another battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Neo tank is regular anti-air. Battlecopter, triple infantry. 3 health Neo tank hits the full health Neo tank. Regular tank hits Neo tank. We've got another Prime Tactics now summoned. Let's see, this tank here, the Lander's in the way. Lander's down to 3 fuel, so this tank has to take a shot from the planes for 2 defense stars. It's the... Does take out the tank there. Neo tank strikes Neo tank. Regular tank strikes Neo tank, taking it out. Another hyper upgrades available for Andy. New tank double infantry. And so 156,000 in the field versus 91. And Andy does resign there. This and grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started next replay, I do need the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I am back. Let's see now. Boop, 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 boop. That was this one here. I think this one is one I wanted to do. Give me a moment. I'm just going to switch this format. I heard none the turns. Yes, this is the one I want to do. Try to hide number of turns for the live stream, so I don't give anything. But I cannot speak right now. Give anything away. So let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn. Oh yeah, this is a V-shape stuff. Spawn as the Orange Star Andy. We got Oswaldo Hellfire. Interesting name. I wonder where Waldo's at. And spawn as the Yellow Comet Drake. We got Mercury Force. So let's get started. This is what, a 4-base map? 1 airport? Let's see. See a pair of comm towers there. Comm towers in this corner with properties here already secured. This is not a high funds map. This is a normal funds map with a capture victory of 40. So players going to have a good amount of money to bank. Well, 4 bases. That's, I don't know how much it's going to be. Guess we'll wait and see. Of course, Drake has good global damage, but of course Andy can repair that up. So it's probably best for Drake just to spam out his Typhoon or Tsunami. Antier and Recon. Drake does have a tank here. Wrong game. Oh, there's infantry in this game, and I suppose Recons are a form of Greyhound. Antier here. Tank heading up north. There's artillery piece, but out of range, as well as a mech. Artillery infantry. You do have a T-copter here. Does hit that infantry unit there. Mech is on range of tank. With another tank there. Tank and infantry. Capture the comm tower. Gonna send the map. Anti-air here. Anti-air is going to be a bit of bait for this tank. We got a battle copter by Andy this turn. With some more infantry. Anti-air in the center as well. Mech infantry. You have a rocket over here in infantry. Remember, Drake's forces, ground forces, are completely and utterly ordinary. Rocket here as well. Infantry, infantry, and infantry. Infantry. Another tank and tank. Bomber, infantry. Another infantry unit down here with 5,000 funds remaining. Can go for recon infantry. Probably just double infantry. Yep, double infantry. T-copter sort of gets trapped there. He's trying to go up north. Couple tanks here. Artillery is out of range. Got one tank in range. Battlecopter here. Bombers ready to push forward, starting nuking some stuff. It'd probably be a good idea to start just spamming out tsunamis to drain the fuel of the battlecopter or the bomber. You know, all of the air units. Another bomber by Andy. He may want to go for, actually, probably a good idea for Andy to go for black boats as well as or APCs. Tank infantry. We've got two tanks in range of stuff here. T-copter does manage to drop one off with 3 health remaining. Double anti-air there to engage the bombers. Infantry, infantry. A third bomber by Andy. Bombs away. Does hit the artillery and the anti-air. Hits a couple infantry units. Another infantry. And recon. And commits a base skip down there. With this air, just going to be very defensive. Have infantry for walls and the rocket. Rocket may want to fall back one tile because right now this infantry unit will receive a free shot within the minimum range right there. Hits the anti-air twice. Drake has his tsunami available. Does the mech hits the infantry unit there? Bomber takes on the anti-air. He, of course, I think he's going for hyper upgrade. Maybe just hyper repair. Does go for full hyper upgrade, but his opponent has his power. I think we're better just go for his hyper repair if you just want to spam out hyper repairs. But now his opponent can get off of a free superpower and not have to worry about Andy's power or superpower. I don't think that's a good idea. Guess we'll find out soon enough. I guess he really wants that +1 movement range. Another bomber. There is a Typhoon. Anti-air strikes bomber. Tells take it out. Hits battlecopter. Does not take it out. Hits another bomber. Tells take it out. I can always see that's just a lot of power charge that Andy's not getting. Instead of 111 versus 92 has about a full return advantage. Right now, Andy does have 29,000 for 24,000 income. One, actually, a good number of profits still switch to neutral. One in the center here, and of course, got these profits in the corner. And Drake is flipping these cities. Maybe I want to go for the comm tower, honestly. I think comm tower would be first, would be better. This tank does get surrounded. Sending another T-copter up north. Or should I say the same T-copter? Rocket can at least be repaired up by the hyper repair. Right now, of course, we got this battle copter someone in range. This tank can hit this 500 unit there, then mean this anti will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need a superpower to range the battle copter, and that's not going to be likely. Takes off those infantry units here. Some tell me that rocket is going to be knocked out next turn. Anti-air tank and tank. Another infantry unit gets dropped off up north. Does secure the comm tower. Now would be a good idea if this T-copter could head down south as well. Well, it needs a bit of resupply between then. Luckily, we could just stop by the airport for a turn. Does get some hits in the center. ATRs are out of range of bomber. There's a bit of a blue sea in front of them. Tank, infantry, anti-air, and infantry. Also a hyper repair, which could be useful to help dealing with this battle copter. Bomber here is down to 24 fuel. Does strike the rocket there with the recon. Does pop the hyper repair. Goes from 130 to 146. Bomber strikes a anti-air, nuking it. Bomber strikes the anti-air, nuking it. Of course, we've got two. Oh, does manage to potentially save the bombers from this anti-air, as well as this one. T-copter's away, so that T-copter's going to get shot up. I don't think I suppose maybe possible. Launch tsunami, wound the T-copter by one, then maybe the tank and infantry unit could finish it off. And that allows one of the anti-airs to strike the bombers. Pops a tsunami either way to get a bit of fuel drain on those bombers among everything else. Black boat, infantry, mech, and anti-air. Black boat down here, which is resupplies would be nice. However, I can only resupply one unit at a time. Tank anti-air prevents comm tower from being flipped for now. Bomber here is at 28 fuel. Those two bombers did merge together, which did give a bit of money in return. Another APC and 13,000 funds in the bank. It's the rocket with 9 fuel remaining. It's that tank a couple times. Another medium tank, double infantry, another tank up north. Neo tank by Andy. Anti-air infantry. Bomber resupplies the Neo or the bomber. mech anti-air. Infantry, fighter, infantry. There's like a bunch of infantry and a fighter. Those show the anti-air. Now I got another hyper repair. It goes from 174 to 184. Rocket is in range of stuff. They'll strike the anti-air. I gotta do go for another tsunami soon. Good news, these units are pretty low in fuel. This recon has 1 fuel remaining, 1 drop of fuel. It's running on fumes, not even drops. Takes out all the anti-airs in center. Infantry, tank, and tank mech. Nothing stops this battlecopter here. Mech is a good strike there. Mech is a good strike there to get as much power charge before popping the power. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Tank hits artillery, or artillery hits anti-air. Pops a full superpower instead. Recon keeps hold as 1 fuel, but everything else is down to like 5, 7. Infantry units down to 19 burgers. 6 burgers. Yeah, even the infantry units need to resupply. They're out of rations. They're down to the K rations, or no, the D rations, the emergency ration, right? Historically was. The D ration was a specialized emergency ration that's supposed to be super dense. A super dense chocolate bar. It was designed to be taste only okay, something that goes down easily, super rich in nutrients, but also is not supposed to be a full replacement, if I remember correctly. Hence why I only want to make it taste okay rather than great, because it was chocolate. It was the whole ration was just a chocolate bar, dense, enriched chocolate bar. Which honestly, I would not mind having that ration more often. Apparently, most soldiers realized, the best way to eat it is not by chewing onto it, because it was quite tough. It was to melt in water and make hot chocolate. So you got highly enriched hot chocolate, which was actually quite reasonable, because a drink like that, a bit more of a luxury. Mech hits the artillery. I think nowadays D rations, are, which I don't think they've issued out to the military anymore, they're long gone. I think nowadays it's just protein bars. Or the closest thing to D rations. Medium tank does get struck by the rocket. Battlecopter, infantry. They'll just take out the tank. Infantry fight down south. Andy will have to rely on his powers to get these guys healed on up. 11 capture procs remain, so even using the power right now wouldn't allow him to capture that property. Comm tower here is still despicably neutral. Drake has 28,000 income versus 27,000 income. And this property in the center of the map is still despicably neutral. It's the mech there. Anti-air hits anti-air. Infantry hits anti-air, which took more damage. We could see the hyper upgrade right now. It goes 133. It's the copter. It's anti-air. It's infantry. I guess we're not seeing the Yep, should have done that before the anti-air push forward, because I would have fit it off with plus 10% firepower. Mech hits tank, or anti-air gets struck by tank, hits the infantry unit there. Right now, the Neotank got put back up to 9 health. Tank, APC, infantry and tank. Does interrupt that capture down south. We've got another superpower, and so far it seems like Drake's superpower has been on point, or at least not. 80's powers and superpowers have been too focused on not countering his opponent's powers. So this bomber is down to 6 health, but there is a APC nearby. Mech is down to 14 fuel, 14 fries. Rocket, infantry, anti-air. Does not take out this battlecopter. It's probably close to 1% HP. Got another anti-air. On this map with 4 spawn locations in 3 different locations. Or build, I'm having trouble tracking everything. Yeah, I should really void cast this map because it's just too wide. It's hard for me to keep track on everything there. Does hit that infantry unit there. Does take out the anti-air. Does take out the anti-air. Hits the infantry unit. This battle comes down to 21 fuel. APC infantry, battlecopter infantry, bombs a 4 infantry unit there, anti-air down south. Trying to capture the city now. This black belt's down to 4 fuel, so it is actually done for when it comes fuel wise. And these tanks here, we've got 16, 18, 22, and 20. I swear that's not their ages. Tank. Oh, got another anti-air mech infantry, battlecopter infantry. Neo tanks at 91 fuel. And this battlecopter is still rocking about, still causing issues. The anti-air has gone on the other side of the mountain range. We do actually have a missile that got pulled in the field. The missile knows where it's at or knows where it's not. Probably going to try to lock down this airport. Of course, this is a mountain tile here, so the base cannot pull up pipe burns to help defend that region. Yep, I forget that in by Web, Days Ruin buffed up missiles by giving them 6 range rather than 5, which actually makes them very usable, both in Fog of War and not Fog of War, because that +1 range is very good. When it comes to surface area that it covers, remember, +1 radius is a bit more effective than you would imagine. Mech. Battlecopter infantry, mech infantry, and anti-air up north. Good number of captures there. Anti's up to 29,000 for 28,000. Drake does have 3 comm towers at the moment. Anti-air gets struck. Battlecopter hits tank. Hits the unit there. Does enter the minimum range of the missile. I think this base is going to get overran. This base is locked down. Going into it, hit the bomber means it's vulnerable to the tanks. Yep, this base is overrun, so Andy should be able to capture that shortly. This map is also labs, now realizing it. So this could actually be a sort of capture victory. Maybe this victory should go for the lab rather than for the base. So Andy just need to focus on the single lab there. Whereas Andy's labs are possible, it could be flipped there as well. We could have a lab capture relatively soon. Tank, mech, tank, anti-air. Does it got anti-air? Another power deployed in the field, causing more fuel drain. 7 fuel, 30 fuel, 14 fuel. 1 health, 0 health on the battlecopter. Rocket gets overran. Do now have a hyper upgrade available. Andy's starting to lose grip over here, but he has enough for defense. Only thing that's posed a big threat to him is this medium tank. So maybe you can simply go feeling a bit heavy over here as well, like a medium tank. Rocket or artillery, possible. They can hit the mech can hit the tank. Anti-air can hit the battlecopter. Oh, black boat does get sunk to the bottom of the shore. Maybe this 9... Oh, something died. I didn't see where. Maybe this 9 health infantry should take a shot there, then hyper upgrade. Hyper upgrade now goes from 142 to 177. New tank hits mech, hits the tank. Takes out the infantry unit there. He got enough of forces stall there. Infantry unit's out of range of base, but like I said, he could go for the lab. Goes to the city. Anti-air probably should park itself over there. At least it's the airport's way down here, so the anti-air is going to be a bit far away to traverse down here. So use the anti-air to park on top of that base. Or leave it exposed so you can bomb the crap out of it pops out. If Drake wants to keep hold of that base, war tank will have to be the way to go. Of course, we do have the bomber nearby. But it's actually pretty low in fuel. Though it is in range of the base. No, that's plus move range. It's not in range of the base. If Drake wants to hold on to this base, it has to be a war tank this turn. Not war tank, mega tank. Wrong Advanced Wars game. Go for a war tank. Probably a little bit more cost effective than the medium tank. Neo tank here. Goes to infantry unit there, just trying to occupy time. Occupies the base of a 7 health tank. The bomb. This infantry unit is approaching the lab, like I said. And you could start capturing both these labs next turn, so you could start eyeing for a lab map, a lab victory. Both his labs are still in his hands, so this one could be threatened next turn. That got hit, so not so much. Does hit the anti-air. Does take out the bomb and send a map, so this lab won't be able to be secured next turn. Battlecopter, infantry, rocket, infantry, and of course, base skip or base occupation. Going for this lab now. This will be captured no problem. Mutank hits the anti-air. Going for the lab map, but looks like this one needs to be interrupted this turn as well. The mech is in range. course, Drake can pop his power to help interrupt, but anything can counter with his own power. Do not blow your power out this turn. Interrupts the capture, stops the capture. Start capturing up this lab there from the mech. 31,000 versus 26,000 income right now. Trying to flip the base there. And now the Neotank is trapped. Pops the power globally. Counter with the repair. Will he get the interrupt on this one here? Remember, he needs to get at least 2 more points of damage. And he gets the interrupt. And he fully stops it. And next turn, he will secure up this lab there, so the game will continue. Takes on the battlecopter, hits the tank there. Hyper upgrade now activated to get some health recovery. A couple captures there, battlecopter hits tank. Neotank can hit regular Neotank. Drake still has 3 column towers, has both the island column towers. Shells and Neotank with the artillery piece now. Battlecopter hits Neotank, battlecopter hits Neotank, medium tank hits Neotank, does finish off. And under the effect of a superpower, which means no power charge. Battlecopter, infantry, medium tank, mech. Rocket does get struck by the battlecopter. Anti-air battlecopter, artillery, and infantry. Battlecopter does strike battlecopter. Does hit the anti-air. Does take a couple anti-airs there. Drake is starting to pull pretty far ahead. 199 versus 134. A lot of captures in turn, but right now it's 32 versus 26. Gonna capture the base up north. APC is getting pretty low on fuel, 18 fuel. Another power there, they're causing more fuel drain. The APC has 9 fuel remaining. Tank, and infantry with another infantry. This game's turning north versus south. Does strike that black coat a couple times. Does pop a power there, get a bit of global repairs, go from 130 to 149. Drake's at a nice even 200,050. Battlecopter, mech, and infantry. Looks like Drake's going to try to eye for this city now. Unit count in favor of Drake as well. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, mech, and infantry. Does hit the battlecopter. Bomber. Counterattack, poorly. Infantry, infantry, bomber, and infantry. Takes out that unit there, so it'll be 4 turns to capture that city. Get some good damage over here. Battlecopter does strike the Neo tank, course can be repaired on up. Good shot there. 7 health Neo tank gets resupplied by Black Bolt, so 8 health Neo tank cannot range that Neo tank since that infantry unit's away. This infantry unit here could be shelled by the artillery piece. Black Bolt could be shelled as well. This Neo tank could be struck next turn. Anti-air infantry, mech, and battlecopter. Shells the Neo tank with the artillery piece. Not sure what unit this artillery piece shelled. Pops another power there. Interrupts the capture of that lab. We still got this lab. It's so very much secure of Andy. I mentioned this one here as well. Mech infantry rocket. Another power popped. Does get some good hits up here. Medium tank does hit Neo tank. Infantry, 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 and bomber. It's 220 versus 106, so Andy's very far behind. Does hit some of these high value targets. So we got a full health medium tank here, and a good number of tanks in reserve. And Andy does resign there. This and grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that is how much I have for tonight. This and grade saying thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.